Okay, so I have had several people ask me what a sports card break is now that I have started a sports card breaking business. So, what I thought I would do is go ahead and explain this and kind of show you a little bit about what a sports card break is, because a lot has changed over the years from the time when several of us grew up collecting cards in the 80s and 90s. So, if you've not been heavily involved in sports cards since that time, or you've taken a 10, 15, 20 year hiatus from the sports card collecting world, what you'll find is that the price of cards has just shot up. We used to think that, a dollar or two per pack was expensive. Well, nowadays, I routinely drop $30 or $40 for a pack of cards. So buying boxes of cards at a time, looking for, what we call a big hit these days, just isn't always feasible. So not everybody can do that. So what we've done is people can buy into their favorite teams. So I love the Yankees. So if I am only interested in New York Yankees baseball cards, then I can get on eBay or Facebook and I can buy the New York Yankees in whatever break I have set up. Whatever your preference is for cards, there's so many different brands these days. But for today's purposes, I'm gonna break a fairly inexpensive brand of cards today, so you'll be able to see this. And this is 2020 Donruss Optic. Not a lot of cards in it. 8 packs plus an extra additional bonus pack that they include. But anyway, so I'm going to explain this from my standpoint. If I was going to buy into a break, I would probably obviously be interested in buying the Yankees. So put yourself in my situation, and I just listed a break on eBay for some 2020 Topps update. Anyway, it's a little bit different break because it's a random team. We randomly assign these right before the break. But for today's purpose, just explaining how a break operates, I'll go through this. So what I would do is I would go on to eBay, or I'd send me a message through Facebook and say, hey, I want to buy the Yankees. And I would tell you how much the Yankees team costs for that particular break. And then you would be given a link to follow so that you could watch the live stream break. You can actually see these cards cards and boxes as they're opened up, and see the cards that are actually coming out and being pulled. So just imagine, this would be a multi-box break, and I would go out and purchase the New York Yankees, and then I would come back and I would watch as the box of cards is opened, and you would get something very similar to this. You would see that there's all the cards, all the packs in the box. We would empty out all the packs, show you the empty box right there. As you can see, no additional packs left in the box. There's supposed to be 8 packs plus 1 additional bonus pack, so there should be 9 packs altogether. So we would then count the packs out for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you could see all 9 packs there. So there's the 8 packs and the special pack. And then what we would do is, as an example, we would break all these cards. These optic are tough to get into, so bear with me here. So we would then open up all 9 packs on camera so that you can see every card that comes out. And then every time I get to a Yankee player, you would know that card belonged to you. So Charlie Morton, Marco Gonzalez, Christian Pache, that's a good rookie. If you had Atlanta, this card would belong to you then. So we would set this out. It would go into a protective sleeve and probably a rigid card holder then, and be sent to you. Lorenzo Cain, Trevor Story, George Brett, Jonathan Hernandez. So no big hits yet, but you know, it's bound to happen over the course of this box. Francisco Lindor, Lewis Thorpe, Wander Franco. This is the top prospect in all of Major League Baseball. So if you had Tampa Bay as an example, you know, this would be a card that you would be looking for. Graterol, one of the rookies that you saw this year in the World Series, came in and pitched several relief innings. So nothing major for the Yankees yet. If I was watching the break and I had the Yankees, I wouldn't be too concerned. I've been in a lot of breaks before, and you know, sometimes you hit, you know, a really good card, sometimes you don't. That's just part of breaking. Clayton Kershaw, Max Muncy, Kirby Puckett, Vladimir Guerrero. Aha, there's us a Yankee finally. Whit Merrifield. Here's our first auto. Look at there. For those of you that live in Houston like I do, Josh James is the first auto. So every one of these boxes that of Optic, they contain one autograph card. So for the person who would have had the Houston Astros, this autograph would belong to you. It would be sleeved up and then in a rigid card holder. And that would be our first hit of this box. Don Mattingly, another Yankee. So if in my situation where I would have bought in for the Yankees, I'd get the Don Mattingly card and the Diamond King Aaron Judge card. And it's not uncommon for all cards in these breaks to ship out. In some of the larger breaks, like with you know, Bowman and stuff like that, sometimes there's so many paper versions they don't ship all of the cards. But for things like Donruss Optic, certain types of chrome, all product does ship. So that's one of the things you need to watch out for when you're entering breaks. If you're in one of mine, you can always ask, hey, do all the cards ship or not? And I'll always try to ship all cards if it's humanly possible. So, all right, proceeding on, Madison Bumgarner, Tommy Edman, Cal Ripken Jr., and Alex Bregman. All right, Chris Paddock. And another refractor, Mike Soroka. Aquino, one of the really, you know, he had kind of a down year this year because he was hurt so much, but the previous year had a really good year, hit a lot of home runs. Sheldon Neuse. Austin Meadows. Here we go. Here's another Yankee. Luis Severino. So again, this would be a card that I would receive out of this break, having purchased the New York Yankees. Trey Mancini stained glass. This is a pretty common insert in Optic. You know, so you get, again, you would get all the inserts and so forth that belong to your team that you purchased. All-Stars, Christian Yelich. And then now the kind of the main pack for Optic, and pretty much every card in these extra bonus packs like this they're all refractors, and they would all come sleeved up. The more significant ones would then be in a rigid protector and sent to you. So here we go. These are the Carolina Blue cards. And they are all refractors, so it's kind of sometimes it's a little tough to see. You can see that they have a very unique finish to them. They're really super sharp cards. So Rhys Hoskins, Garrett Cole. Okay, this is a Garrett Cole. Again, this is a Yankee card that I would receive if I had bought into the New York Yankees. And we oftentimes, well, not oftentimes, we go with the team that's on the front of the card. So you can clearly see here they've got the New York logo. If this was last year's product, Garrett Cole would go to the Astros. Luis Arez, Josh Bell, Christian Yelich, Zach Collins, Gavin Lux, number 2 prospect in all of baseball. Again, a very highly thought of Dodger prospect. This card, potentially could be worth some money in the next year or two. So anyway, definitely one to keep an eye on. And several of the teams, like when you buy into random breaks are relatively cheap on average, but you never know what team you're going to be assigned. I mean, you could get Philadelphia, who doesn't have a ton of prospects in the checklist for this product, or you could get the Dodgers, who have Gavin Lux, or you could get Chicago, and you could have somebody like Lewis Robert for really, really cheap. If you got Chicago randomly. So again, there's some risk involved. I mean, you could draw out Chicago and then not end up with very many cards, or you could draw out Chicago and you could hit a $1,000 card. So again, it's kind of luck of the draw. But this obviously would be a fairly good hit for somebody who selected the Dodgers, or who picked the Dodgers. And then Marco Gonzalez. So that is how a break works. Our top 2 hits in this break are those 2 cards. Nothing that is just crazy. However, they are nice cards. They're very sharp looking cards, but that's how a break works. So, if I had bought him with the Yankees, I pulled out all the Yankees that you saw. And those would all be shipped to me. I would own those cards as a person who bought into the break. And then typically, this is just one box, but generally what happens is, like the breaks we have out on eBay right now, it's a multi-box break. Sometimes it's an entire case. So we would open up a lot more cards, a lot more boxes of cards. So this is a very small scale. This is just to kind of show you what a break would look like and how it would operate. So, as we go through there, all this would be explained to you. And of course, if you had any questions at all, you could always message me or email me or call me, and I'd be more than happy to kind of explain this a little more in a little more detail, to provide a little extra clarity on it, so you know exactly what you're getting. But this is how sports cards breaks work now. So, typically for a lesser amount, you can be involved in sports cards, and particularly the teams that you're very interested in collecting. So if you and your kids like a particular team, whether it's the Giants, the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Astros, whoever it is, you can purchase that one team, or you can get into a random break, and by luck of the draw, you may get a team that has a ton of rookie prospects. And in some cases, that can really, really provide you a nice return if you're lucky. So you can really get a hold of some just ridiculously crazy cards, because there's a lot of packs being ripped open. So it's a good way to get a card for your team that you otherwise probably could not get your hands on without buying that card individually. So it's great entertainment. You can watch these live as it occurs, or a lot of times these breaks will be on a Friday or Saturday night. They're loaded up they're loaded up live on Facebook, but then they're loaded up the next day on YouTube. So you can also go back through and watch the break on YouTube, and it's there. I mean, you can go back 6 months later and watch it. It's still there. You can, you have a super big hit or anything like that. You can go back and revisit that video as many times as you want to. So it's pretty cool. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I've tried to keep this under 15 minutes, and I'm running up on 15 minutes right now. So again, if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me and ask away. I appreciate your time. Thank you.